Hello, awesome Leo gang out there. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie. We are going to do, I guess, sort of what I'm calling your March monthly tarot spread. It is a little bit past March 1st, but you guys are down to roll with me, right? There's really no timeline or timestamp to these messages. If it finds you and it resonates, take it and run with it. Please release anything that doesn't serve you or doesn't resonate. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Welcome to the Teacup. I do ask you click on the timestamp that reads Tarot FAQ so you can better understand what it is here I do on my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, if you're family, welcome back. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And my Leo gang has been really good to me. So from the bottom of my heart, I really do. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here on my channel. So let's see what we're going to be talking about today. These are kind of sticking out. I can't take three. Oh, actually, these two go together. So, all right, we're definitely going to talk about your Cancer or your house. Possibly something with a Gemini or communications coming in, and then North Node, something about your life purpose, your destiny. So those are sort of the topics we're going to cover in this tarot reading today. So let's see what comes up. And as you guys well know, if you are a returner, these sometimes go off in different directions that I don't anticipate. So that's what we're essentially aiming for, but they may kind of travel off in another direction. So the reason being, if that doesn't interest you, it may actually lead to a topic that you do have some interest in. So stick around, see if there's anything here for you, right? All right, so tell me a little bit about this. Gemini, I think that is the first card that came up. If you're, so let's get this out of the way. If you're dealing with a Gemini romantically, where are we at with that? Are they already married to a Capricorn? Or are you already taken? Are you already married to a Capricorn or a Taurus? Are you obsessed about a Taurus? Do you keep thinking about a Taurus? The thing is that, like, despite the Devil card being here, which tends to have a lower vibrational energy, but not always. If it's a Capricorn, it's just a Capricorn, right? It actually ends in a very positive manner. Hold on, let me look at this. I feel like this may or may not have to do with a Gemini, maybe your lover, someone that you have feelings for. This feels like somebody here went in on some sort of commitment or promise and maybe didn't follow through, or maybe really struggled to make good on that promise. But the thing is, I think that they will. I think the second time around will be easier. So I don't see any cards necessarily indicating reconciliation. So this might be someone that you're already with, but you're having problems, or you guys are considering maybe trying a separation or something. I think if this person is really determined to keep you, if they really want you, Leo, they will. They will step up to the plate. These are excellent cards, but I do think there's an element here of maybe you turning your back to them or giving them the silent treatment or playing hard to get, or maybe, and I mean, I don't mean to make it negative in that sense. Maybe it's a healthy boundary that you're starting to set, in which case, you know, good for you. If it is someone that you have feelings for, and I have a feeling it is, because why are they showing up in your tarot spread otherwise, right? I would just caution you to not feed into playing the head games or playing hard to get, or sort of treating them the way they treated you. If you actually love this person, and here's the key note, if this person does step up and make an offer to improve the situation or an apology, whatever it is, this could lead to something really good. It could be kind of like a happily ever after. A new offer is made that solidifies one that maybe, you know, maybe some darker energy got involved. And by that, I just mean maybe this person like fucked up, right? Maybe they did something, but they do seem to have, like, despite whatever this is, they do seem to have like an unfaltering commitment to you. With the Hierophant showing up, you have two very strong cards of marriage. So if there is no evidence of, I heard foul play. That's not really what I meant. Not foul play. No evidence of any sort of like shady tactics or any sense of like, that doesn't feel good. Some of you, there's going to be marriage with a Capricorn, and there may be even talk or communication about that. It could also be with a Taurus or another Leo. All these look like big proposals and offers. This is the priest, the Pope, the one who marries someone. This could be, in terms of Capricorn energy, whether you're dealing with a Capricorn or not, this could be 10th house activity, meaning your careers fall under the same, not under the same roof, but essentially it's almost like the 4th house, which you have here, by the way. The 4th house is your home, your ancestry, your roots. It's associated with Cancer. It's associated with your mother. This is the opposite of that. So it's almost like you guys start off a platform, a solid foundation together, and work your way up to, like, I hope this is making sense, but essentially to like 10th house matters, which is like public image, career, work-life goals, stuff to do with your father, right? It could be like joint finances is sort of what I'm getting at here. Yeah, I mean, the more I look at this, it's actually really positive. It's certainly because it came up with this card that quite literally says Gemini. Something about that could transpire. It could be a Gemini is thinking about you in a more romantic way and looking for commitment. In which case, I guess I'm being asked to ask, pose to you, is someone fearing commitment here? Why is the devil showing up? If it's not a Capricorn, A, does it have to do with someone's career? Or B, is it more like a shadow side? Is it fear? Is it energy that essentially we kind of need to abolish? I always laugh when these two cards come out together because in a metaphorical sense, if that's even a word, is that a word? Metaphoric sense? Anyway, it's almost like God and the devil are going up against each other. They're like duking it out to see who's going to win. Him representing God, spirituality, leadership, conformity, commitment, marriage, long-term, solidarity, if you will. Again, a card of Taurus, and then you got this guy showing up too. So the thing is, if it comes between two people or someone's shadow side and light side, which everybody has as a human being, we all have dark and light within us, I think the light is going to win because look what prevails. All these amazing cards. Whereas if it was like the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, I'd be like, oh shit, I think the devil's going to win, right? But that's not the case. So for some of you, this isn't even a negative reading. Some of you are just simply dealing with a Capricorn or someone who you met in your work space, something like that. Someone who potentially would put a lot of effort and dedication into this partnership, into this union. That could be why this is showing up too, right? Capricorn being kind of like the workhorse of the zodiac, right? They are very determined to get ahead. They want to dedicate themselves to a higher purpose to achieve status, right? And recognition. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? And I mean, Leo, you can kind of relate to that too, right? So this looks really, really good. Other than naming the zodiac sign Gemini, I'm not exactly sure where that falls into this. So you're just dealing with a Gemini or you're not. And for others of you, the Gemini card is just simply indicating air energy of communication, thoughts about this person, expressing oneself, writing out a formal letter. It could be signing a marriage contract, right? Those are all kind of Geminian themes coming up in this reading. But yeah, the more I look at this looks like a proposal. And if you're not looking for long-term, if you're not looking for marriage, that's hilarious because that's exactly what you're getting. No, or it's just long-term commitment in terms of, you know what, this feels good. I like you. Let's see where this goes, right? It doesn't have to be marriage, but if you're, whatever, dating around on the apps, however you're meeting people, it seems like you meet someone and it gets raised to the next level. I even take this as commitment. It's almost like the way their hands are up. It's like... I'm hearing like courtroom, like, do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth? It's like putting your hand on a Bible, like, do you want this? Yes, like I want this. I want to commit myself, my soul, my energy to this person. I kind of like this, Leo. Kicking it off strong. All right, let's talk about your life purpose. Let's talk about your North Node. Do I want to shuffle those back in? Let's do a new deck because I want to give every card the biggest chance to come out. Let's talk about your life purpose. So what are we thinking here? For some of you, it's with your Taurus. For some of you, there's a union with a Taurus. Earth and fire. Earth, wind, and fire. All right, here we go. I almost called you Gemini. That's so weird because the card is out. I think that's why. But I do think you have other people's energy showing up in your reading, Leo. Leo, we know what your purpose is. Your purpose is to entertain the masses, to be that beautiful ball of Leonian light, and let's see, to be the queen, to rule over the kingdom with kindness, to support and love other people. Some of you may be trying out something more in the spiritual realm or spiritual arts, whether that's your career or just something you naturally enjoy doing. You are a well of kindness. You are a well of, I'm almost getting, with the Queen of Cups, she almost has like a tarot reader connotation. So not at all saying you all need to go rush out and buy a tarot deck, but why wouldn't you want to? Isn't this awesome? Just kidding, you guys. But there is something about you give very good advice. As much as you can be very... center of the attention, the belle of the ball, right? You yourself, like you're kind of the party. Wherever Leo goes, they bring the party with them. I think people underestimate you though, because at first glance you may, and I don't mean to offend, this is a positive message, so stick with me. At first glance, you may come off as in a more superficial way of, oh, they're just, whatever, fill in the blank. Underneath that, though, people have yet to see there's a lot of layers to you, and you're actually very deep. You have a very deep, some of you have a very old soul. And again, there's a lot of Cancerian energy here, so I feel like some of you may resonate either with that sign a lot, or you may have that in your own chart. But yeah, you give beautiful advice, and you're a great listener. And I know some of you may not even think that about yourselves, but you are. When you're with the right person, I think it's a good test to know that you're with someone who you actually have investment in, because you want to hear more about them, and you have this, you naturally want to be, I hate to say like the shoulder to cry on, but more or less that's what I'm getting at. You're a good person. You're a good support system. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Then you have Knight of Pentacles. Some of you may end up helping people emotionally in terms of psychology or counseling. Some of you may end up helping people with their money or their finances, so doing something in the financial industry. You may be assisting women, specifically single mothers. And others of you, this seems more artistic. It's almost like your purpose in life is to feel very real, very deep things. And for a lot of you, I think that scares you a little bit and it intimidates you. But that's all the more reason to do it. That's what I mean, to dig deeper into those almost spiritual realms, to be very analytical about your feelings, and not in a way of like preventing them or blocking them, actually going deeper into them and analyzing, again, like psychology, counseling, that kind of thing, and then to make something good of that. Using that analysis of your emotions and putting it into your artwork, putting it into your paintings, putting it into your music, into your literature, into whatever it is. It's like feeling all the feels and having a sense of control over what it is. And again, allowing it to breed and grow and thrive within you. It's not about suffocating it or denying yourself the ability to feel. A lot of you are not fully tapping into that, and that's where you're feeling stuck or stagnant. You may not realize it, but that's why. You need to allow yourself to grieve. You need to allow yourself to feel. You need to allow yourself to fall in love, because within that energy, it's very powerful, and then you're going to take whatever that feeling or expression is and do something great with it. Yes, that's very generic, but welcome to a general tarot reading, right? But for a lot of you, this almost feels in a more artistic way. Your emotions are very powerful, so don't resist them. Don't deny them, because you can take those emotions and those feelings and, I don't know, put them out in the world and do something great with it. I'm almost getting like Mother Teresa vibes here a little bit too. And even if doing something great with it is putting it into, again, your artwork or some sort of outlet that brings you a lot of joy and passion, it's all the more invigorated by those feelings that you have inside of you. So Leo, feel all the feels. I know for some of you that's very uncomfortable. You don't like to do that, but you're denying yourself this gift, and also it's something that you're supposed to accomplish in this world, in this lifetime. Some of you may have a north node in a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. So if you're at all familiar with birth charts, and if you're not, that's okay. You can always look it up. But your north node, it almost looks like a little headphones. It's like two circles with a little ring connecting them to the top. It looks like, headphones you would wear on your head. Wherever that symbol is, whatever zodiac sign it is, that's where essentially in this lifetime, what you're meant to accomplish in a more spiritual sense, right? So, and interestingly enough, the opposite of that, the south node, which will be the exact same icon but in reverse, so like upside down headphones, that's when you were born into this world, in this lifetime. You came with a set of gifts and talents, natural abilities. Those are great. Those are going to serve you as a foundational however you want to say it, as your foundation, so that you can accomplish a lot in this life based on your God-given abilities. But it doesn't end there. Essentially, you're supposed to strive towards something that might be a little bit more foreign to you, because in another lifetime you excelled at those skills. That's your south node. Your north node is about accomplishing what you may view as unobtainable, or something that you maybe have to stretch your comfortable limits a little bit more in order to accomplish. But yeah, for real, you guys, if you are all interested in that, it does point out in a more spiritual, metaphoric sense, like your destiny, what you're meant to accomplish in your life. And so everybody has a different north node. All my Leos, you may have all different north nodes, right? You're supposed to share your wisdom of the divine. So some of you are very in tune psychically. Some of you have a very special, like gift where you can tap into the divine, or again, like psychic mediumship, something like that. You help people going through tumultuous times. People who have, I'm almost hearing like near-death experiences. So that, then some of you literally may have a friend where that just happened, like in your life, and it's not necessarily anything you're looking to do career-wise, but that's what I mean. This is so far beyond just your career. This is about like what you're meant to do just as a human being in this lifetime. People who are going through tragedy, through pain, through any array of difficult circumstances, you are the support system for them. You offer them kind words and empathy and listening, and you offer them very strong advice or guidance that they can, it's like you can take that to the bank. You give them some sort of gift from your soul, from your kindness, from your spirit, from your emotions, right? You're able to tap into that very deeply and set them off on a path that helps them overcome obstacles in their life. So again, you might not be getting paid to do this. This just might be your purpose as a human being on this earth, right? And I'm just saying, I don't mean to make it icky. By all means, some of you are naturally doing this anyway without even trying, right? You're going to look back and be like, oh yeah, I do kind of do that, don't I? I'm also encouraging you, though, if this is something you're naturally good at and you enjoy, if it doesn't feel super laborious, if this is something where it almost feels like a creative hobby for you or some sort of passion in helping people, humanitarian type efforts, something like that, it's possible that this could become a career for you. Maybe you've never thought of yourself like that. But again, sometimes we take for granted our kind of God-given abilities because we assume they're normal for everyone else. We assume that everybody has that talent. That is not true, Leo. So anyway, I feel like I've lingered on that quite a bit. Let's get one more. Some of you, not to minimize this at all, it's still a gift in a sense, but in terms of more career-oriented stuff, some of you may excel at real estate, working with land and homes and properties. Some of you are destined to move somewhere else too. It could be that you've been very comfortable and settled in a certain location, and it could be that a job offer comes along that forces you to change up your environment and your location. That's probably what this is, so I think we're going to get into that shortly. Just give me one more. There is definitely something about house and property and lands and real estate coming through, and there is change. Anytime we see a knight in tarot, that indicates change and movement, and with the Knight of Coins in a positive direction. Something that is tangible, something that is real. It's not an illusion or a fantasy or it's not like a hopeless romantic, like, oh, someday I'll move to Paris. Like, no, if you actually have a reason to move to Paris, there's a very good reason why you're feeling that, Queen of Cups. So I think you're going to make good on that. I think you're destined to move locations, but it's almost like the mental process of doing it is very overwhelming to you right now. So two things with the Tower. Some of you, you're anticipating the worst of a situation where the universe is nudging you or forcing you to move in a new or different direction. My best advice to you is to embrace the change, because this is actually very good. There's a spiritual purpose for you in this whole change up. So some of you, it's like you feel the calling, you feel the nudge, and even though it scares you, I think a lot of you are going to do it anyway. Good for you. Always good to face your fears, right? Others of you, you've been so stuck in a rut for so long. I don't do fear-based readings. You guys know this, but more or less, the Tower does indicate when you are stuck and you are not growing and thriving as a human being, universe comes in to right that wrong. So sometimes it happens in a way that is uncomfortable, or sometimes it happens in a way that we're not anticipating or expecting. So if it's not uncomfortable, it could just be shocking. It comes out of nowhere. It could, and it doesn't always have to be negative. Typically, the Tower does have a connotation of, ooh, this is uncomfortable, right? This could be, the person you've been renting from for the last 20 years says, you know what, like, I'm going to close up the apartment because, my parents are going to move into that open space. And you're like, oh, now I have to move? Like, it could be that. Or it could be something like out of the complete blue, you hear from a friend from 10 years ago who's like, hey, I have a job offer over in Florida. Do you want to come move? And you're like, but do you know, like, it's not the worst case scenario, but you may be building it up to be this monster that it just isn't. Yeah, but there is a calling to move elsewhere, to move homes, to move residence, or if it's not residence, it could be to move the space, the environment in which you currently work, because you stopped growing. It's not to say that you're not enjoying it, but it's like you've accomplished everything you can accomplish there. So universe is like, Leo can handle more than this. And it's not saying that this is a punishment, that you've stopped growing, so now we have to throw all these lessons and obstacles at you. It's not that. That's what I think some of you are making it out to be. It's more the idea of Leo has settled. It's like Leo needs to strive for more because there's so much more. They can do so much more in this lifetime that would not only bring them inner peace and joy and all that, but it's like you have a tremendous gift to share with others. And by staying rooted in the ground exactly where you are, you're denying the world of your gifts, of your talents, of your beauty, of your, almost like your mama vibes. Like you nurture the world in ways that I don't think you're fully aware of. But anyway, so let me know where you guys are moving to. Yeah, you don't want to. You're resisting the change. Or if it's for some of you, it's not that you don't want to. You like the idea of it, but it could be that the practicality of it gives you a lot of hesitation. It gives you a lot of pause. What can I tell Leo? I would say this is a new opportunity, and for most of you, you should go for it. You have free will. You don't have to, right? And obviously, you guys need to do what you feel is best for you. Always trust your own gut and intuition over any tarot reader, over any tarot reading, right? Because you're always in the driver's seat, so you are accountable for your actions, but this to me has a lot of the fact that it's coming up just simply in your North Node section, right? This is your destiny. This is your fate. This is what you are meant to do. So more or less, even if an opportunity comes and you let it pass you by, you say, no thanks, I'm good, I don't want to, that's completely valid. You will never miss out on this opportunity because you are meant to do it. So if for some reason you decide to say, no thanks, I can't do it, or some circumstance comes up where you're like, it's just not the right time, or I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z, something similar will come around again so that universe can get you on board to whatever this destiny, this future location for some of you is. You're never going to miss out on what is meant to be yours. I think that's really important. And I truly believe that at like the crux of my being, at the core of my being. Oh, literally the card of follow your intuition. Listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. And again, I literally, this guy's staring me at the face as I'm about to say this. You need to go deeper. You need to analyze your thoughts and more so your emotions more than just, oh, this feels uncomfortable. That's my truth. Okay, good. This feels uncomfortable. Well, let's go deeper. Why? What is triggering you? What is provoking that emotion of fear? That's exactly what this is. For a lot of you, this could be fear of a long-term commitment. You know, I'm not ready to settle down. I'm not ready to start a family. I'm not ready to have kids. Okay, cool. Why though? Like, what are your reasonings why? It's not just, you can't make it out to be just a simple answer that fits in this tiny little box because it's convenient for you to give that answer. Again, I'm not saying you need to explain yourself to anyone, not to me, not to your husband, not to your girlfriend, whatever, but you need to know the reasons why, like in spades, like more so than just the quick, oh, because, you know, I'm too busy with my career. Okay. But more. Tell you more. You need to be very certain of the reasons why, because what I'm getting out of all of this is that a lot of you are defaulting to it's like a generic answer because you don't want to unwrap the onion. You don't want to go deeper into the layers and realize what's holding a lot of you back is fear. The good news is we already know who's going to win that battle, right? We already went over that. But you would be surprised and amazed how when you really start to recognize how much fear is holding you back, you can transform your life in ways you never thought possible. These two fall in line, right? In the story of tarot, it goes from the devil to the tower, right? So it indicates that whoever, whatever, is stuck inside this tower, in theory, it's you. It's a false sense of comfort because you become so comfortable in what is familiar, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. It's stagnating your growth. So it's like, we got to bust you out of the tower, because I always like to say you're dancing with the devil in there, meaning you're dancing with your fear. You're dancing with your shadow side. You're avoiding what could be this really beautiful journey or venture into something new, Leo. Do it. This Four of Cups is sometimes boredom, it's sometimes complacency, or it's just, hey, this is comfortable, I'm not really ready to leave it yet, or the idea of leaving the comfort zone really scares the shit out of me. You know what I'm going to say, right? When you face your fears, amazing things happen. And I do really want to say, I don't mean to be condescending or talk down to you, but you're making something out to be so much scarier than it actually is. It's just not. I think it's actually going to be quite pleasant, but you have to bridge the gap of actually doing it and going for it, which to me, it's funny. That's not very a Leo-esque message to me. I associate you guys with having a lot of courage, a lot of confidence. But yeah, there's this one particular area, and for some of you, because it has so so much to do with your feelings and your emotions for something, that's the piece where you're lacking the courage or the confidence to go after it, because maybe you haven't flexed that muscle enough, so to say. Maybe you haven't spent enough time in your emotions to know what feels good and what doesn't, because, I don't know, whatever, past trauma, past scars, past experiences, maybe, subconsciously taught you, ooh, that's an icky subject. Don't worry about that. Like, hide that in the closet, right? Don't look at that anymore. But the thing is, Spirit is forcing you to look at it eventually, right? I would say when you're ready to. For some of you, it's not really going to be convenient, and when you're ready, but you're going to do it anyway. But I think this is all very good. You have very strong cards here. You have so many cards of Cancer, Leo. I don't know what to tell you. You guys know I'm Team Cancer, right? I got a lot of Cancer in my chart, so how can I not? But of course I'm Team Leo, always. But anyway, let's talk about this. We'll wrap it up with these final messages. I guess let's do this one. Why not? So you have two cards, again, indicating Cancer. If this is, as we were saying, the 10th house of the zodiac, your career, your public image, what you're meant to strive towards, your exterior life, the opposite of that on the zodiac wheel would be your 4th house, your interior life, essentially, your house, your home, your roots, your ancestry. It sometimes has to do with mother and father, things like that, the house you grew up in. Some of you may have grown up with a parent who was a Cancer. That was really hard for me to say right then. I do think this has to do with uprooting yourself, with detaching yourself from the comfort zone, your sense of what is home. I think you should allow yourself to see things in a different way. Some of you may feel very trapped. And I don't mean for this to sound harsh, but you may have a very strong relationship with your parents or your family, your ancestors, right? Your roots. Or you may have a very toxic one that you've been telling yourself, well, they need me. I can't leave them. And of course, everybody's situation is a little bit different. So maybe somebody has an ill parent and you can't just up and leave, right? But I do think you're being asked, where are you overextending yourself to meet your family's needs? Where are you essentially suffocating your own passion and dreams and desires? Where are you holding back on your own gifts to share with the world in order to please your family, or in order just to take care of them, right? Maybe you have kids. Maybe you have an elderly parent, right? And it's not saying you're going to up and abandon them. Of course not. But I think you need to compensate in areas where you haven't given enough time to yourself. You've been overextending yourself to please others. Action. You're meant to go on an adventure. Even if this is just taking like a vacation for yourself, right? If you're single or looking or whatever, maybe this is just like, when it's safe to, obviously, like book a plane trip somewhere you've always wanted to go, spend a week there, and just have a little bit of you time, right? Allow yourself like this, I'm almost getting like a spiritual retreat or a getaway. And for some of you, maybe you're literally going with like your prayer group or your yoga group. Maybe you're going on like a girls trip here or whatever. If it's not that, maybe it's just more in the metaphor of you're going off on this little island and it's going to be very peaceful. It's going to be like a little Zen state that you're allowing yourself to exist in for a week or two or something. In that space, it's almost like take a break from reality. Take a break from your everyday hobbies and chores, and again, whatever role you fit into in society, push pause on that. If only for a day or 2 or 3, I would suggest a week at least. But whatever you can do, there's a lot of value in escaping the burdens of everyday reality, because essentially a spirit, God, source spirit, is trying to give you this awakening of there's so much more out there, though, like you don't even realize. Leo, you like to have fun. You are literally 5th house of the zodiac, which is about fun and arts and creativity and children and hobbies and sports and leisure and all that stuff. Like, are you making time for that? Where are you sacrificing your own happiness for others? And that's the thing, it's very selfless. As I was saying, almost like a Mother Teresa vibe. I think Cancerian energy has that vibe about it as well. It's not that you're doing it to purposely punish yourself. It's because you care so deeply about other people. You can still utilize that tool, that gift, that God-given ability of empathy, of kindness, of compassion, but put it into a different avenue where you actually, I'm wanting to say, like, reap the reward of it, or experience some benefit of using that energy in a positive manner, because it feels like you are tapped out. It feels like literally the card of burdens. It feels like you're giving too much and not focusing enough on yourself, especially in terms of your home life or your family. Yeah, you need to be better about scheduling like me time for yourself. Some of you, you've been living in a house and it's like it's one repair after the next, and like you dream. You've had dreams about some new house or some new property, or you frequently say like, oh, I would love to move to this state or to this country or to this town, and you have this idealized version of it in your mind. And I'm not going to tell you what I would usually tell you is that, Fantasy Island or whatever. No, like there's a reason why your mind is calling you to that place, to that location. That's your intuition nudging you. And it's like you keep chalking it up to, oh, that's just a silly dream. That could never be my story. That is your story. You just haven't moved towards it yet. The Knight of Wands says take action. Move towards that dream, that reality. Because then you can build it, right? The Knight of Pentacles will build it. He's got the pentacle, he's got the earth energy, he's got the brick that can lay the foundation to getting there. But for a lot of you, there is fear attached to it, and it may have something to do with a father figure as well. But all right, I think that's what I got for you. Yeah, thanks for joining me here today, Leo. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. That really does help my channel a whole lot. And yeah, a huge thank you to the Leo gang. You guys have been huge supporters of mine, and it means the world to me. I feel so grateful that I'm able to do this, and people are actually receptive to the messages, and from what I can tell, enjoying these messages, and that's allowing me to live out my life purpose. So thank you for that. Other than that, I will see you next Tuesday for more tarot. Bye, guys. Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading.